Hey guys, Ike here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. I'm out here today to put up some tree stands, put up some ground blinds, and while I'm out here, I'm just going to do some quick videos on why I'm doing what I'm doing and things like that. So I'm going to probably label these all the same and just mark them as different parts, call them something like tree stand setup, ground blind setup, something like that. So this is the first of these videos that we're going to put up. And we're going to talk about what I'm bringing with me and why. So let's get right into it. The first thing that I recommend that you guys bring, cell phone. Make sure this thing is fully charged, make sure that's somewhere hopefully you get reception. But bring your cell phone with you. You never know what can happen when you're out here, especially if you're out here on your own. So bring a cell phone with you. Worst case scenario, you can always call 911 if you need to. So bring a cell phone with you. And on that same subject, I got mosquitoes and gnats all over me, but on that same subject, make sure someone knows where you're going. Make sure you tell them about an area of the woods that you're going to be, and then make sure that they know about what time you're going to be home. So the next thing that you're going to need is water. This is along that same line of safety. It's June 10th, 12th, 13th, somewhere in there, and it's 10 o'clock in the morning right now, and it's about 85 degrees, so it's going to get really hot today. It's going to be 90-95 degrees today. So bring water with you. I don't only just bring this, I also bring this. So I bring plenty of water with me. I carry this with me when I'm actually away from the truck, and when I get back to the truck, if I need more water, I've got plenty. So avoid things like pop, beer. I love a good beer as well as anybody else, but avoid things like that this time of year, because they really don't have no hydration advantages to them. The best thing that you can have is water. So bring water with you. Gatorade, stuff like that will do, I guess, but water has the most value when it comes to getting you hydrated, so be sure to bring some water. Now get off the safety stuff and just show you the simple things that I bring with me. First off, you see all the bugs floating around. I bring a thermocell with me, and I just clip this thing. Actually, I forgot my clip, so that's not going to be much good for me today. But I bring a thermocell with me, and I just keep it on. This one doesn't have a good... I've got to get this one ready to go. It's not quite ready to go yet, but I bring a thermocell with me, and I just set it with me. Usually I clip it on my belt loop to keep the mosquitoes and gnats and stuff like that away. So I bring a thermocell. I also bring permethrin. This is available, I bought this at Academy for about 15 bucks, and this is some really good stuff to keep ticks and stuff like that off of you, as well as mosquitoes and other stuff like that. But this stuff works really good. Now the disadvantage to this stuff is you can't get it on your skin. If you're a rancher or something like that, you'll be familiar with permethrin. If you've ever put Advantage or Top Spot or whatever the hell it's called on your dog, same ingredient as permethrin. This is what gets in their system and what kills the ticks on them. But this stuff is very poisonous. If you get this on your skin, a large amount of it, it can make you really sick. A few years back, when I was working on a ranch, we went out and we put ear tags in a bunch of cattle, a bunch of fly tags, and the glove that I was wearing that day actually had a big cut in it. But when you're working, you know, you don't take time. I didn't take time to change my glove. The permethrin that was on those ear tags soaked into my skin, and I got deathly ill. I mean, deathly ill. For 2 or 3 days, I thought I was going to die. I mean, it is really bad stuff. Now, keep in mind, at that time, we worked 8 hours that day just on cattle. So we probably ran through 200 or 300 head of cows that day, ear tagging them. So 2 tags each, 400 to 600 tags on my bare skin, and putting them in there, and that made me really sick. So be careful with this stuff. You do not want to get it on your skin. Now, as far as tools go, I always carry a few simple... You guys thought I was going to flash you, didn't you? I always carry a few simple tools with me. One, a knife. I always carry one nice little knife. This is my Foltz Minimalist. This is a great little knife. Hangs around my neck, and I've always got it with me. So I bring a knife. I also bring a machete. This is a cheap Camillus machete, survival knife thing. I don't know, I wouldn't really call it a survival knife because it's only 20 bucks, and I wouldn't put my life on the line when it comes to it. But it's got a little handy dandy knife that comes with it there. So I got that little knife, as well as the machete designed blade here, and you can see I beat the crap out of this thing. For 20 bucks, this is not a bad knife. This is a really good knife for the price. Now, if I was to go out for a week and do the Survivor Man thing, this probably wouldn't be the knife that I would take with me. But for just coming out here and hacking limbs and doing stuff like that. It's got a saw on the back of it, you know. It's got a gut hook on there. It's got a cleaver-like edge. This is the Carnivore XZ. For 20 bucks, this thing has proven to be a pretty darn good knife. So I've used the heck out of this thing, as you can see by looking at it. I've used the tar out of this thing, and it's held up really well. I even broke some of the big feeder blocks, some of those things that I usually bring my axe and bring. I forgot my axe one day, and I used this to break it up and didn't bother it a bit. So I bring a machete with me, and I just carry that on my hip just in case, because you never know when you get up in a tree stand what you're going to need. The other thing that I bring a tree saw. This is a Wicked Tree Gear tree saw, really good tree saw. It cuts through really quick. I don't mess around with the cheap ones that get clogged up. You want big thick teeth on your tree saw. That way it ain't gonna get clogged up. This thing will cut through a limb and it'll cut through really fast. Another brand that I recommend is a Gerber. I had a Gerber for 10 years. Loved that thing. That Gerber was awesome. And I finally broke the tip on it one day doing something stupid. And I replaced it with this Wicked Tree Gear saw, and it is a really good one. So get a good high quality limb saw that locks into position with a good comfortable handle on it and some deep teeth on there. You want deep teeth because they don't get clogged up. So the other thing I bring, and if you can afford a power one of these, get the power one. I bring a pole saw with me. This thing, the further out you get, the more work it is, and this thing will work you to death. But if you're hanging a tree stand, this is dang near a necessity. Not only from the tree stand itself to clear out some limbs, but also when you're on the ground and you need to get up to those limbs that you can't quite reach off the ground. These pole saws are a great advantage and a good way to do that. So if you can afford one with a motor on it or a battery pack or something like that, definitely get it, because this one here was cheap, but it will work you to death. The last thing I bring with me, just in case I need to do a little heavy chopping, is my axe. This is a pretty good axe. This is a Trooper I picked up at some farm and home store. Pretty good axe. I've done a lot of work with it, you can see, and it's held up really good for me. So I bring a nice, just single bit axe with me, and with a nice fiberglass handle on it. I don't want this thing breaking, and I don't want this thing to injure me, so I go with the fiberglass handle. Now, the other thing I bring with me, a pair of gloves. Simple, but they protect your hands. I wear a pair of gloves anytime I'm doing this kind of stuff, just to protect your hands. You know, you don't want to injure yourself, and maybe that'll minimize that a little bit. So that is what I bring with me when I'm going to the tree stand or to the woods to actually move a tree stand, set up a ground blind, or do something like that. So those are the tools that I use. I'd love to hear what tools you guys use or what I missed. I mean, there's definitely some stuff that I probably didn't bring with me. There's another thing that I bring when I'm putting out ground blinds, and I didn't bring it today, and that's a rake. I just bring a leaf rake with me, and when I get to where I'm going to take the ground blind, I just rake all the leaves out. Today I'm going to put up a ground blind, but I forgot my rake. So I'd love to hear what you guys take with you. I'd love to hear some suggestions on anything that'll make it easier for me, anything that'll make it easier for other guys out there. Definitely open to suggestions on that. So now we're going to load this stuff all up. I'm going to get this thermocell ready because these gnats are eating me alive, and get sprayed down with some bug spray and head off into the woods and get a couple trail cameras set up, get our tree stand set up, and we're going to go ahead and get a couple ground blinds set up while I'm out here today too. So if you want to watch those videos, like I said, we'll definitely be available here pretty soon. Gonna put them all up in order, so be sure to check those out. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and be sure to check us out on Facebook under Ike's Outdoors, and be sure to check out our website, ikesoutdoors.com. Appreciate you guys watching.